Okay, we're going to call the meeting to order. It's 6:03.
Ms. Frazier?
Here.
Mr. Markovitz?
Yes.
Mr. Midlick?
Yes.
Mr. Sharma?
Present.
Mr. Spice?
Present.
And Marie? Here.
I'm sure we could.
Okay, we have no absent members. So then we have the minutes from May 6, 2021. They were emailed to us.
I think everything is okay. So I'm taking a motion to approve the minutes from the last meeting. I'll second it.
Mr. Frazier?
Yes.
Mrs. Frazier. Mr. Markovitz?
Yes.
Mr. Midlick?
Yes.
Mr. Sharma?
Yes.
Mr. Spice?
Yes.
And Marie. What's the last name? Schaefer, right? Stauffer. Stauffer.
Okay, is there anyone here tonight that does not have a case on the agenda? Okay, then we will take the first case. That is 9749 Ravenna Road. We have information, we're going to pass it along, and then you'll be able to present.
I can't really hear it.
Okay, are the speakers on?
Yeah, everything's
Okay. I'm going to pass out information, and then you can present.
Okay,
Okay.
you want me to sit down?
You could stand at the podium.
Okay.
That should be mic'd.
All right.
So he was bringing material with him today, so.
Did you bring additional material
Yeah,
with
he's bringing
you?
material to go along.
You want the picture and the piece of material?
And he just has the very first part, he has all the information with him.
What's your hand?
Metal roof alteration.
He's just the very first application.
Okay. Okay, I see it, yeah.
So that's the last one. The last one.
That's for the last project?
This one right here. He just has.
9749. Oh, that's 9649. We have another case that's one digit off. 9749 is yours.
Yeah, all I want is a roof.
I'm sorry, the case that I gave you is not this case. David, that's the last case. That's 9649. We're doing 9749. Set it aside for now? Okay. No, this isn't it either. This one is new, unless they weren't paper clipped to the right. This one's New Adventures.
Yep.
With the sign.
He just has this one right here.
It's just this paper?
Yep. And then he was bringing all the documents
Oh,
with him. That was the only requirement. He had to bring just copies of materials. He's just, it was the value of the roof and the type of roof that brought it to ARB.
okay. I understand. Okay, so the structure is already existing. You're just changing the roofing type.
I can't hear you good.
The structure is already existing, and you're just changing the type of roofing.
I want to put a steel roof on it.
Is the structure there already? Is the building there already that you're?
Yeah, it's a 114-year-old century home.
Okay, I see. And so you brought us pictures of the home and then the type of roof.
Right, exactly.
So is it like just on the porch, or is it the roof everywhere, both sides?
The whole roof.
All the way around?
The whole roof, yeah. It's the roof I originally put on, it's 29 years old.
Okay.
And I need to put a new one on it. I decided I want to put a steel roof on it.
The existing roof's metal, I mean, not.
No, it's shingles, 3-tap.
So you're right on Ravenna Road too?
Yeah.
I think it'll look nice on a house like that.
These, yeah, pictures. You don't have a picture of the front of the house, right? Just the.
Pardon?
You don't have a picture of the front of the house, just the porch and the side here? I may pull it up on my phone.
Yeah, is this all we got of the house?
The pictures back.
I got it. This is a real. Sharing money. And get aside of it.
So is this a house or a business? That's.
It's a house.
It
The
is a house.
business is next door.
Business is next door, okay.
Yeah, I live in a house.
Okay. And I mean, yeah, I think it could look good. It's standing seam? Or
Pardon?
it's more corrugated than standing seam?
I still can't hear you. These masks, I'm having
I know.
I'm
It
having
is-
a heck of
It's more of a corrugated versus a standing seam?
I'm sorry, I can't understand what these masks are. I apologize.
Does the roof go up and down like this?
It's got three reverse dormers on it. So it's got three reverse dormers on it.
The material that you're using is it's not a standing seam, it's a corrugated.
Yeah, yeah. They make it in Middlefield, the Amish make it.
I've seen a lot of nice standing seam roofs. I haven't seen this corrugated one
Yeah, that's a
Used-
nice looking roof.
on residential.
Yeah, it's
I like
real
the,
nice.
the black color is nice.
Yeah,
I think that'll look nice on this house. Being that, as long as your house is planned to stay the same color as it is now. It's the
oh, I'm
white.
not changing
Okay,
nothing.
okay.
So I'll move to approve it as submitted.
I can second that.
Mhm.
Mrs. Frazier?
Yes.
Mr. Markovitz?
Yes.
Mr. Mitlick?
Yes.
Mr. Sherman?
Yes.
Mr. Slice?
Yes.
And Ms. Hopper?
Yes. Yeah, but I don't think I voted.
You don't vote.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, that's all. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Aye.
I'm all done, right?
Yes.
Thanks again.
So I guess we just have this one sheet to stamp.
This is nice stuff. I think I would.
Yeah.
I was going this so fast.
What's the difference on different versions that it's almost gonna look the same.
It's black.
What's the life on these things?
But like the double, you know.
The standing seam ones, I know have a very good life. I don't know what the life is on that one.
Regular roof.
Yeah.
Sheet roof.
Yeah, they're a little bit loud in the rain.
Yeah.
They make a clicky tinkly sound unless they're insulated underneath.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're gonna,
I guess every time you play music.
right. But being that it's in the downtown area, I think that a metal roof would be,
It'll be fine.
and it's black.
Yeah.
It's not like it's a red roof. Okay.
This is the state of us. Yeah, you know what?
Oh, yeah, it's gonna go in the box.
It is,
These things can just be.
I didn't break it.
you probably can't see there.
I don't think they can, I think they should just be tossed aside.
Yeah. I like them.
I don't see that they can't. Yeah. I know, that was my issue.
Yeah. It's everywhere.
Alright, so the next case. New adventures. This is just the sign. they're all the same. Yeah. Okay, the next case is 8124 Darrow Road, New Adventures.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, my name is Gomesias. I'm the owner of Fast Signs in Twinsburg, and I'm currently working with the owners of New Adventures, who are they're moving into a new facility at the corner of Darrow and Summit Commerce Parkway. So their building is under construction. They've reached out to me to put out a internally illuminated double-sided monument sign with LED message board panels on both sides. You should have a rendering of the design of the cabinet. Should look like this. So basically, internally illuminated on the top, an LED message board on both sides, and it has a skirt on the bottom. Dimensions and colors and PMS colors and design are all.
Is that replacing the original sign?
There's nothing there. It's brand new
This is the
construction.
new building.
Oh, right, so you moved from where it was?
So they're moving from about down the street. They're about a block away.
Okay.
They're building a brand new facility right at the corner of Darrow and
It lasted quite a while. Right? Remember when it came in?
Now, I remember with the previous location, New Adventures came in asking for changeable copy, and there was frustration on their part and our part with the fact that the way that our code was written says that changeable copy was only allowed for churches and what was the other one? Is it schools and churches? So this, in the way that they were classified, was that they would not be allowed to have the changeable copy. And we were frustrated by the fact that that's how it was written, and they were frustrated because they wanted their changeable copy, if I remember this correctly. So this is the same owner, I'm sure, for building. It's just a new building for them.
that's correct.
And I see that they're trying to do an LED board, which would then be changeable,
Copy. That's correct.
imagery. Being that they are a daycare center, they are, in my mind, close to educational, which the library was allowed, the schools have been allowed, and churches are allowed. So, to me, that's the thing is, how are they being classified as educational? And their frustration was that if a daycare was owned by a church, then they got to advertise when they're enrolling new students and things like that. And because they were a non-religious daycare center, they couldn't advertise things like enrolling 3-year-olds today.
Correct. That's correct.
So I know that was an issue before, and so in my mind, if this board is being used for educational purposes, or the same way that the churches would use for their preschools, that I think that it's appropriate that they would be able to have a changeable board, and it would have to follow all the same rules that the library board
That's
or the
correct.
schools or the churches use, where they can only change the image, every 10 seconds or something,
Right.
and the image needs, and the brightness level of it
That's
can't be
correct.
too bright at night, and they have to follow all of those too. So in my mind, I think that it would be appropriate to approve a sign with this light up board for a daycare center, even though it's not religiously affiliated or, officially a school. That's my mind. That's my thought on it.
I would feel the same way. That sign wouldn't bother me at all. Change it.
No problem with that. But I wasn't sure if the new sign ordinance the city came out with, because that was very critical. Things did addresses,
Right.
it is too, anything new about it.
Is it an LED sign or is it like a TV style?
So they're diodes. So if you can think of it, it's not like a television.
Okay.
Right? It's literally little diodes, but they're the technology today is such that it allows you to adjust the brightness and contrast to adhere to any guidelines that the city proposes, and then you're able to change the copy as you need and program it that it follows whatever guidelines are mandatory for where it's being displayed.
My only concern would be, because that's what I mean, the brightness, but, if it's,
That's in the sign code that they
Yes.
have to adhere to.
Okay.
And it's different in the daytime and evening, I believe, it's daytime versus night.
yeah.
Because you
Yeah.
can't see the night imagery in the day, it's too bright, and you can't
Yeah.
be blinded by the day imagery at night, so.
As long as the brightness is fine, I'll be okay with it.
Yeah, so that's all controllable for the on all signs.
That's correct. It's all programmable.
Yeah.
So, and then as far as the aesthetics of the sign goes, I think it looks nice. It has the address on it, like we encourage or require for monument signs. So I'll make a motion to approve the sign as submitted.
I'll second.
Mrs. Frazier?
Yes.
Mr. Markovitz?
Yes.
Mr. Midley?
Yes.
Mr. Sharma?
Yes.
Mr. Spice?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Have a good evening.
Thank you, you too.
Yeah, yeah.
That's right. I might have put an install on it.
They will.
Yeah. That's the colors of the things on the house.
Yes. Do you like it? You can.
We got her working, she's working fine,
Yay, Daddy's
Extra
here.
help today?
yeah.
You can come get her if you want. Yeah. Okay.
Good back at the gym, I'm sure.
I'm sorry?
Go back to the
Oh, yeah,
gym.
next October.
This week maybe I'll do it, next week I'm not.
Okay, and our final case, we have 9649 Chamberlain Road.
Everyone can break by to them?
This is our last case, you guys want to just wait?
Yeah, we're just going outside.
Yeah, I'll catch you both, please.
Can't like put it in between with the
Yeah.
pet there.
Can always use that.
No,
I
she's
catch you
gone.
with it pretty easy on that.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have a new house here.
Excuse me?
Is this new construction?
Yes, it will be, yes.
Okay, you could go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us about the project. You can go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us about the project.
Oh, okay. My name is Larry Hopkins. I'm new in the neighborhood, but I bought a lot And I just want to build a new home on it, 3-bedroom ranch, retirement home. I'm seeking to get approval to do that.
Okay.
Welcome to the city.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Are you building it yourself or is somebody building it for you?
Are you building this yourself, or is someone building it for you?
Someone building it for me.
Thank you.
On the front, there's this open air clerestory. Is that into the porch space?
Oh, this is one for the garage. I have to see what this is. Does this property have anything on it currently? Are there any other structures?
No, not right now.
Okay, there used to be and they were demolished.
Right, it used to be.
So you have a driveway and, well, the start of a driveway, and you have all your plumbing and sewer lines and services already at the site.
Right.
Okay, so that's the freeway.
I think it's seen a lot.
You know, did you see where it is?
Yeah. I think driving by that way, because I'm working on your stuff, it's like,
Down Chamberlain.
Are those doors on the rear,
like there was some.
the double doors on the rear going out to the back, or is that just windows, big windows?
No, those double doors in the back because,
They're like French doors,
right.
they're not sliding,
Well,
or,
they probably will because the patio door is going to be a patio there or either a deck later on. Right now, I'm not putting a deck there right now.
Like, cubby of it,
Across the street is trees.
yeah.
you will be required to put steps, temporary type steps down the grade.
Oh, okay. Down the road you're talking about?
Yeah, you just put in some, tempered wood steps, nothing really expensive.
Oh, okay.
We'll know that.
You talking about in the back?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so up the street.
Safety hazard?
Yeah,
So somebody won't fall out.
this is what's next door.
Oh, okay.
Right. Steps to grade that area.
I just wanted to check because it's very low after the garage.
So this is just a thing.
Yeah, she pulled it up.
Yeah, I pulled it up on my phone to see where it is. It looked, there was a house and a garage on it previously that had been demolished. And it's, I don't know,
Yeah.
200 yards from the path with the little bridge. And the entrance to Lake Plata
Yeah,
is over that way.
right. Yeah. Seems like a nice project. You're gonna retire there, huh?
I'm retired already.
You're gonna really retire. Yeah, it's nice.
Post office.
Where do you move from?
Excuse me?
Where'd you move into Twinsburg from?
I moved from Oakwood. I remarried and I'm living in Darrell Creek apartment, Darrell Ron apartment.
Yeah. Good. It's a nice house. It's comfortable.
Does it have a full basement?
Yes,
Will you have basement windows?
yes.
I've got the plan to see, that's the elevation.
Yeah, they,
Can I see the elevation? John?
do I have it?
Yeah, you have
Oh,
it.
sorry.
They go with the set here. We only have 2 sets.
Oh, okay.
So that's, no, it's okay, that's half of it. Do you want to see plans?
No, I already seen it.
Okay.
So they got a pretty well covered.
Sorry, they put these dividers up and now we can't lay our papers out.
Rather
Oh.
that's what it is right now.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure we could take them off.
Okay, so some notes for this one. We'll need basement window, probably one left, one right.
They're on the plan.
They're on it?
No, that's the preliminary. They're on the final plan.
Oh, okay, we're not seeing them on this one, so I'm just
Yes,
gonna
you're
make
not.
them, I'm just gonna make them notes.
That's fine.
Is there one on the left and not on the right, probably?
On the rear, there's one on the left and one on the right.
And they're on the rear.
On the rear.
Okay. And then we put in a deck or steps to a
I did put
patio?
in a note after talking to the building department. They said that comes with a special permit, and he said just put a note, and I did put that on final print, which is here, because we're hoping that
Okay,
Pennington can take those right straight to the building department, if this commission approves.
okay. To keep it easy, I'll just go, because we've got these right here in front of us, I'll just make them notes on this. It won't affect your
Whatever you wanna
permit.
do.
It won't affect your permit in any way, just so we know that we discussed it and
That's fine.
it came through the board. So I'll make a note that we have 2 windows. Usually we recommend that they're on the side, unless you know that, just because if you put in a deck, if you put a deck in, your windows would then be underneath your deck, and you won't get any
On the
light.
side, so that that cannot interfere.
Okay, yeah, because that limits the size of your deck.
Yes.
So, yeah, so you can do that if you know you're not going to put a full-length deck across the back. So we'll have 2 basement windows. If you're finishing your basement, I always throw on a recommendation that one of them is an egress window, because then you can put you could put a bedroom down in your basement. And for resale value, that can help, that somebody can always put a bedroom in the basement legally. With a standard, it's hard to hear me with this, I'm sure. With a standard window, you can't technically occupy your basement. You can finish it and use it, but you can't have anybody sleep down there.
Okay,
But if you have an egress window, not only can you get out of the basement in case of emergency, you can also market your house when you resell that there can be a bedroom in the basement.
okay, well, I wouldn't plan on putting a bedroom in the basement.
You were or not?
No,
Yeah, okay, I'm just saying that we usually throw that on as a recommendation. It's not a requirement.
It's the best time to put one in. It doesn't cost that much to put it in when you're building new. It costs a lot when you're adding it later,
right.
so, but it does help a lot resale.
But you're talking about putting a,
An egress window is a window so you can get out if there's a fire and you're stuck in the basement.
right,
It's just a bigger window.
okay.
So,
Yeah.
I'll bring that to the attention of the contractor.
Yeah, it's just a recommendation, but
You're allowed to upgrade, and so he will recommend it.
right, it's
Right, yeah, it costs a little bit more, but when you're building it, it's not that much more versus somebody doing it later. And the reason why I mentioned the 2 windows, sometimes we recommend having them on the side, is if you put a deck across the back, it covers your windows. So, for the basements, but you can put them on the back. For all I know, you're going to put in a patio. I don't know, but I just brought it up so that you do have 2 basement windows.
Yeah.
Right,
Okay, and then steps to grade out of the sliding door. That way, if somebody steps out that door, they don't fall, a
Right.
1.5 feet. They can be temporary steps until you put in your permanent, whatever you're doing in the back, but steps to grade at least. I see you have a mixture of brick and block shown on the plans, on the elevations.
Brick to grade on the front and cement block on the sides and rear.
In neighborhoods, we've been doing brick to grade all the way around the house.
I talked to the building department, he said it was not required.
On this
So,
street? Okay.
the inspector was gonna review the house and follow the inspection. He said it was not required, but we chose to do brick to grade on the front and on the side of the garage that shows to the front door, simply because of aesthetics.
Okay.
But this is an economically difficult time for retired people to build
Mhm.
new with the cost, so we're trying to maintain a modest, attractive home.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, most neighborhoods, it's required though, we understand.
There are some streets, and this may be one of the streets where we don't have that all the way around. So you've talked to the building department about
We
it?
talked to
Yep,
the-
okay.
It was, Dan, or is it Elton?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, he's a good inspector for you.
I like the trim boards that you have. It's nice to see some substantial trim. I think that looks nice. That really helps a house a lot, that little bit of trim. You have nicely balanced windows, symmetrical, and many of them on each face. We look for that, and that's nice to see. You have a door to your garage that's accessible by a person, man door. Anything anybody else wants to note on it? We have the colors here.
They're on the front page.
Mm-hmm. I have this here.
Oh.
So we have siding is Cape Cod gray, shingles are pewter, very dark. Do we have the trim color? Exterior trim is white.
Dark and gray.
Yep, house and garage door are white. It doesn't show any shutters on the house.
Oh, we didn't put any shutters on the house.
Okay,
You did let him know.
we had pictures and colors called off, but I didn't, okay. So no shutters are intended, you have trim. Okay. All right, I'll make a motion to approve it as noted. The notes being the steps to grade and basement windows.
I'll second it.
I think he has the flip page for the side.
Yeah, he already, filled it out too.
Oh, there's only one broke then?
Ms. Frazier?
Oh, no, front page is here. Yes.
Mr. Markovitz?
Yes.
Mr. Midley?
Yes.
Mr. Sharma?
Yes.
Mr. Spice?
Yes.
All right, it looks nice. Welcome to Twinsburg. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, good luck, thank you.
Before you adjourn, I'd like to thank the city and all of the staff. They've been so supportive in this project. And Hopkins are feeling welcome to the community.
Yeah,
Very
yeah.
nice.
Unless we're here to
All
help.
of that we have passed around. It's a wonderful town to work in.
Yeah,
Very nice.
It's a good place to live.
Yeah, thank you for coming.
Yeah.
Okay, you're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments.
All right.
You're all set.
Nope, I take everything over to you. Just their boxes, yeah. They'll take a look after, once they get everything signed off. Copy of what happened here. There's nothing that comes up. Okay, got something for me? Sounds good. Correct, they have to sign off on everything, and then we'll work its way through, what's the name, Friday, Monday. So, I would say, by later than next week, we should be able to go through, yep. So, once we get off the documents from them, get it on Dan and Keith's desk to review, and the next step is permits from them. Yeah, I would say middle of next week. Yep.
Yeah, I didn't have to take much math in college. I didn't have basic stuff. I had to take some county classes. But
Yeah.
Good science.
It's like your vital plans.
Okay.
Looking at one, I'm in a this part, a company called Avalon Plastics. They make like investment plastics, like metal products, usually plastic and stuff. It's the blows up. They make parts of they make parts of guns, automotive. Yeah, I said
All right, does anyone have anything they'd like to discuss on the record?
Do we need, is there anything we need to discuss about that?
The CIC?
I mean,
Yeah, I guess if we're discussing it as a board, it should be on record. So would you like to update us how the interviews went?
well, from the best I could tell from it, and from some of the comments, somehow I got on their email list, so I've got probably about 20 emails now about it. And, but basically what, I don't know if anybody, I didn't even know they were trying to do any of this. It was my first jump into that they were doing something out there. But they talked to two developers. One was, where's the name go? One of them was Heritage Development Company, which is kind of part of Wolfstein, a little bit associated with it, but just, I think, financially more than anything else. And the other developer was Kennett's Homes, K-N-E-Z. And of course, Heritage has done all kinds of work around the area. And they basically said that they did the Barrington development. They're doing work on the east bank of the flats. They do tons of stuff down in Florida, which, you know, homes and residentials and retail centers. And then Kennett's basically does more residential, sort of high-density residential, which I think is one of the reasons why I think the temperament of the CIC was that they liked Heritage better. But I don't think they made any decisions yet, so don't quote me on that. Or you can't quote me on it, but it just seems that all their emails tend to lean towards Heritage. And really all, you know, the presentation really didn't tell a whole lot because they were just giving a pitch about what their companies can do. And, you know, trying to fill the gaps in as to what the request was from the CIC and what the city's looking for out there. And, I don't know how deep you want me to go into.
I'm wondering, do they seem receptive to doing, I don't know if anybody's asked this, like some preliminary example designs before they get into really developing?
Yeah, that's what, none of them have any design in mind.
Okay.
And Heritage was talking about working with several different home builders to get different looks so that you're not getting everything isn't all one. You know, like you go into the Pulte area, all the houses with Pulte.
So I know, yeah, and I'm on that board. Heritage, they did have a conceptual plan.
No, is that for,
Yeah.
Heritage had a site plan.
They had, just a conceptual.
But no
site
rendering
plan.
of.
Yeah, they had a little, like, they did. And it was,
See the rendering.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They showed-
I'd be interested to see.
They showed a few images of things that they showed some, elevations and stuff real quick of what other things Pulte has done similar to what they're thinking would be in that area. But they didn't get into.
yeah, the second, Kenneth, they had some. They showed a lot of their work.
Partners with
Kenneth showed-
Pulte.
Kenneth showed more looks. They showed more, kind of 3D sketches and drawings and renderings of centers they have done around the country.
Okay.
A lot, I mean, most of it, like they said, like I was saying, was, kind of more, a lot of it was really high density, even, to me, I thought even what Heritage was showing was too high density residential equipment.
I see high density going in. If this town is putting high density anywhere, it should be in the downtown area.
Yeah,
That's
that might work
what
there.
makes it walkable, and that's what gets enough people down on the streets, and it usually involves a parking deck, so that we don't have so much, parking lot.
And the building, is it a building structure or is it like condo style or?
I'd like to see,
It's
some
hard to
condo
know how
style,
that's all
some
gonna end up.
some small apartment buildings, but to me, the quality of the materials is going to make it or break it.
That's where I think our
And that's
architectural
what-
board will come in.
That's like a downtown commercial area.
Yeah.
So how's that gonna work out? Putting a building right in the downtown?
Well, it's gonna be on the north corner, we're talking about by the bank, near the bank, the old
Yeah.
Avenue Avenue.
Oh,
there
behind the
from-
bank.
Yeah, so it's going from 82 down to, and they're all conceptual, we don't, pass the post office, this,
There's
Creekside.
a bunch of land over there.
Yeah, there's some land back there, so that's what the discussion was. ARB will come into play when, we start choosing, once we get past that. Before then,
Yeah,
right now.
most of the stuff they were talking about was making sure there was, pedestrian tie-ins, that there were links between that area and the square and other retail portions of, what we have downtown. So that it's open and easily accessible, and there's even talks of tying in bike paths.
Right, okay.
So that, cyclers can.
Yes, getting us connected to the downtown. Right now, we don't ever ride downtown because the only way to get there for us is to go through the park, on bicycles or something with the kids. To go through the park and then go down Ravenna.
I ride
It'd be
from,
nice, yeah.
I'll
It'd be
go,
nice, but
well, I live over off the post road in that area, so I'll
Over
come
one post office.
through the back, it actually comes down a path through the woods that comes behind Boulder Brook.
It's a federal land for the.
Area that new subdivision.
Yeah,
over
yeah,
there,
I've
and then
heard
I'll
about
come
that.
through there, and then I cross 91 and get on the, Material,
Okay.
and go down Material, and then, cause my wife loves to go to Dunkin' Donuts, she gets on her bike, and she wants to ride to Dunkin' Donuts.
Those are good destinations. Did the imagery that they provided look like multi-story masonry type of buildings?
Yeah,
Okay.
and we're talking, parking, garage parking for the units, maybe ground level, and units above.
Above,
I would like to
okay.
see some example of the work style.
With a little bit of living area, and having the garage on the ground level.
And steps up to the second
yeah.
and, okay. So
And,
the
but
living
they-
units look to be 2 or 3 stories tall, like
Yeah.
row house style,
Yeah.
or, okay, good. That's
Yeah.
what I've been imagining. Yeah, I
There
think
was-
doing those row houses gets younger people
I
into
meant to ask you
versus
about if you could,
single story.
Heritage did get a copy of this, site plan that he did to kind of show what.
Mhm.
Again, it was just conceptual, they kept saying that, this is just conceptual.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I mean, what he did was very conceptual, because, there was the talk of it,
Yeah.
some of the units were right on top of 91, and they
Right.
shouldn't be that close to 91, I mean, that's running down. Because there need no much sidewalk area or anything, if they do that.
I think the sense stuff, those would be nice.
The only thing, yeah, I'd be interested in seeing the conceptual plan and if they have any example imagery.
Well, see, they didn't even,
Choose.
Heritage
She
had a
hadn't even
plan,
chosen.
but they didn't ask for a plan. Heritage.
Showed us, yeah.
The other tenants didn't have one or any kind of plan.
It's always nice to see some of their projects.
And they were talking about a couple of phases, like 2 phases too. And, the Heritage talked a good bit, and part of it about, how to tie in from the school that was on the corner somehow. And I wasn't sure if they were talking about with the I guess there was some kind of a masonry archway or something that used to be there, part of the school.
Yeah.
We
And they
agree.
tore that down, but they're saving that somewhere to kind of reintegrate it into the plan somehow.
Okay.
Yeah.
And their commercial buildings, did they look like they're up at the street? Or are they
They
like,
didn't really show much commercial,
okay,
but the retail
or, yeah, the retail.
seemed to be more in the middle with the residential around it. But
What kind of price point that? for the
they
house?
were talking, what was it? They're talking 1,500 to 2,300 square foot residences, which, did they say they didn't say a price, did they, on each unit?
You know what, I
would be?
can't remember if they said.
But I'm sure they're gonna be in the 300 plus
I think they said higher
range.
than that. I feel like they said
Yeah,
higher.
they couldn't be.
Yeah, right.
Mhm.
It would be nice to have some kind of a plan.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure they'll get that, but it's, I think it's so early in the stage.
It's very early.
And the CIC didn't require them to have plans to show the kind of sites.
Kind of nice for stuff.
Where they are
Right.
at this point, you know, we're not, I don't even think they're at that point yet.
Yeah, you just.
Like I was mentioning with, they wanna try to move the post office and that, I don't know what it's gonna take to move the post office, so, you know, who knows if that.
They don't even need to have that much room there.
No, that's what everybody was talking about, that the post office, you know, that
Yeah.
half or more of what the space they have in it.
No, it's really an obstacle in this whole land. Plus the other, we still need to acquire more land.
I want to talk to something about the old school
Uh-huh,
that they tore down,
yeah.
the wooden one.
So who owns that land?
91.
91.
Oh, I saw that they moved barnstones into the driveway. So you can't pull into that.
No, but, well, then destroy that building.
So they don't run all the way up to the creek,
They were supposed
the
to
Fingers Creek.
Like a patio or something.
to recreate.
What's the idea of that? Kind of bummed out about the. post
They
office.
saved some beams.
Oh, it's a long
I
time.
remember that they did that, and not knowing when they would use it.
I mean,
And if they were to put up a pavilion.
The post office is in the same area, or close to stay in the downtown area.
Post office has a big footprint.
They talk like that, a little bit of money.
Lot, big enough. So trying to have them move, I mean, it's gonna be, it's
Okay.
not gonna be an easy piece at first.
Probably, what I would like to see is that put something like that back into where it could be used.
Yeah, I think it was Kenneth who
No, not quite.
was talking about teaming with Fulton to do a lot of
I
the.
remember you said that, yeah,
A lot of
between the
work and
library
maybe
and the high
just
school.
Mhm.
There's like an
And
auxiliary
Aaron
space.
was just talking about multiple different
Right, right.
builders
Belongs
who
to
work
the
there.
school. And,
New phases or parts.
obviously they can't use it because it's just a really trying window in that area.
Mhm.
But it would be nice to put something in there that could be a multi-purpose building.
Mhm.
To be used for, the library could have programs in it. The historical society could have programs. Those kind of things, and that's right up there.
It's a good location. Mhm.
So we ought to set
Sounds
some
like a
time
good idea.
and discuss that.
Okay.
I mean, I still remember.
If they hold on to
What
those
we
things.
said.
Right.
Yeah, when materials came up, they were, you know, we'll do whatever we can, you know, the city wants, is kind of how they mention most of that.
Okay, I'm gonna look up their website and take a look at some of the things that, if I can find it online, but if they have a presentation that they saved, I don't know if you're on the email list now, if they send through some imagery with the plan, I'd like to see the site plan and the example images, that if they happen to send those out. Yeah, just to make sure that, yeah, we go in this at the beginning, making sure we get good quality buildings, good density, a good mix of housing, with the emphasis probably more on the more dense housing.
Yeah.
If we're putting it somewhere in the city, the downtown makes more sense, and if it is the multi-story, that will bring in more young people versus single story, which doesn't get the density. And not that we're not trying to exclude older people, but if we're trying to get life in the downtown area, getting people who are younger will help that.
Yeah, but if the houses are like they're saying it's over 300,000, I doubt any young people will quick.
If there's a mixture of apartments that
Yeah.
are rentable
Yeah.
and
Oh,
condos,
there's some
if they're,
apartments.
yeah, if they're condos, you know, if you can rent it for, you know,
So the
12,
mix-
15
That would be
Okay.
single family houses.
Yeah.
Not single family, those would be town.
I'd like to see
Yeah.
some of the projects though.
and that's what we would want in the downtown area.
Yeah, that would be nice.
They were talking about like
Yeah.
a live, work, play scenario.
Yeah.
And where was it? They said they did one in Willoughby.
Have you heard of that? It's kind of I thought it was a pretty cool concept. The office is in front of the residence, so you kind of believe he described it as having like a walkway. So you park underneath the building, your apartments where you live is upstairs, and then in the front of that is an office building. Because you so many people are
So you have street traffic, yeah, you have street frontage for your
Yes.
business,
Uh-huh.
and yeah, you park behind and your living is above.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
But
it's,
the,
That's good, that's the type I think we
that's what
want.
they're, yeah,
and a lot of it
that's,
was,
that was a lot of the discussion.
Yeah,
yeah,
Good.
they don't know, they have no idea what kind of mixture, how many people are gonna want to live work thing, and then they also, on the retail side, they were real questionable about that, because it's like, not knowing where retail's really gonna go, where brick and mortar buildings and stuff are gonna
yeah.
end up, and so it's not that they were counting it out, it's just they weren't sure what, when the time came, is what it might be, another year or two.
Well, they're talking
or
about
more
phases.
before-
So they'll
And
do
that's
it
good,
in
if they can
phases.
try some of it in phase one,
Yeah.
and if it goes well, do more of it in
Yeah.
phase two.
Yeah.
Because they didn't have a lot of empty spaces, just sitting there.
No, it's just choosing a developer. Somebody,
Okay.
somebody to take on the project.
So it sounds like that this developer is on the right path.
Yeah.
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 That's good. All right, I'll make a motion to adjourn. It's 6:56.